I want to welcome Agile XRM to the podcast. I've known the people at Agile XRM for the past 12 years. I've seen how their business process management tool can add massive value to complex organizational processes in sectors such as finance and government. If you have complex processes or a need for dialogues on the Power Platform or Dynamics 365, take a look at how this BPM tool can add value. You can find them at agilexrm.com or check out the show notes for more details. Welcome to the Power Platform Show. I'm looking forward to this session today with an amazing guest from the United Kingdom who's, is a true transformation story in Power Apps. So let's get underway. Today's guest is from Redhill, England. He is a senior business applications consultant and an intelligent eye. He's a Power Platform enthusiast. You can find him on Twitter at Martin Lee Appman. Welcome to the show, Martin Lee.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Mate, good to have you on the show. I think I first met you maybe 2 or 3 years ago at a conference, I think it was. So, yeah, you've been a while now in this whole Power Platform community space.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been a few years now. So it's obviously, everything's changed from when I used to be remember my job role in the end? I was a dispatcher. Sorry, yeah, I was
a dispatcher. Yeah.
Now
nice.
now I'm a senior Power Apps developer. So lots have changed in the last couple of years.
I bet. Before we get underway, tell me a bit about family, food, and fun in your part of England.
So obviously, you just said down from Redhill in Surrey. Since I've actually moved, and now I live in Great Yarmouth by the sea, which is lovely. To walk down to the beach every day. Well, mainly not every day, but I mean, I'm close to the sea. So I've got my partner. We're getting married next year, so
nice.
A lot of exciting times ahead of us. So I've been with Rachel for a couple of years now. We basically just day-to-day life. She works as an A&E nurse, so she's always busy and she's always got a stressful life.
Yeah,
so
I bet.
The time we have together, we try and get out, go cycling. We enjoy our food as well. We like to have to cook stuff at home. I used to live in Cyprus, so I like to cook Greek food.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. And what's to see and do in Great Yarmouth?
We're so much because when we moved here last year around November time, and obviously over Christmas and it's cold, it's windy, so there wasn't much to do. Everything was closed down. But like this summer, we get to go down to the beach, have beach days, go to go and have a nice meal out, have a few beers on the beach, beer, go and play the arcades. There's a big, amusement parks. You can go on a few rides. So it's quite fun. It's different from being in London way, so it's not. Yeah, it's much quieter. It's more peaceful. So I like to go. I like to finish work some days and just have a little walk down the beach, kind of clear my head. Yeah. And I think sometimes when you, especially with job as a, app developer, when you you've been working all day at your desk. I work from home, so when you're you're indoors all day and you just like to get out. And sometimes you just clear your head and you think about a problem you've had all day, where you can just go, just relax, and you go, oh, that's how you should do it. And you go back and and it works. So it's good. It's good for the mind. Do you know what I mean?
So good. How did you get into IT?
So I was at Autoglass, and I was basically building. Building reports in Excel. So it's basically just like standard reports. People, dispatchers would give us stats of what they've been doing during the day, how many jobs have been cancelled, or it's all different kind of stats. We put it into an Excel spreadsheet and we had just basic reports. And we started using it was Access on web portal apps or web apps, I think it was called.
Okay.
And then we started using them for a couple of months, and they're working really well. The user could just literally go on, enter some information. It was really basic. And then Microsoft decided to depreciate that and say, right, okay, we're actually going to change this to Power Apps. And when I saw Power Apps, I thought, okay, let's have a go at this. And that's where my journey started, really. It's started playing around with a few apps.
Yep.
oh no, I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get it. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, put me up, pencil down, or my mouth's down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I can't do this. And then I'll just go back to it a couple of days later, have another go. And then I just started clicking in the end after watching lots of YouTube videos, and it was just that's where kind of the journey started. And once I built my first app, that kind of got me going. It's like literally,
Wow,
I started.
I love it.
Yeah, it was really exciting.
So what was your first major app that sticks out in your mind?
So the first one was basically it was about rebooking. So Autoglass, we send technicians out to customers, and if we couldn't do the job for some reason, it could be like because of bad weather, could be because the customer wasn't there, for example. So we write them stats down and say the reasons why, and it supports technicians, supports the dispatcher, because obviously if the technician can't do the job for some reason, so we like the management love to see these stats to say why can't we do this if it's so built the first app. It's really basic, all we went go in there, kind of job number, reason why, submit it, and then we put some nice BI reporting to that, and just kind of showed standard stats, why it was rebooked, the area was rebooked in, so you could see key areas, where we're losing jobs, or have to rebook, so that was my main app. But then after that, that's where everyone started getting interested, going, oh wow, I could have an app for my information that I need. Do you know what I mean? So that's kicking off.
So from that first app, what was the what were the additional apps and that you got requested to start building?
So basically, one of the main ones, technician safety, and this was kind of like a big one for me as well, because it was like, so technicians on a day-to-day would have to come in and do a vehicle check, and on a piece of paper they'd write down, okay, is my tyre safe, is my wiper safe, just a general van check, and then that would take him maybe 5 minutes to fill out the report on a piece of paper. Then I'd hand it back to the manager. Manager, okay, I've got that. They will put it onto an Excel spreadsheet, and then that's that done. Then I started building. So I thought, okay, we could digitalize this. We could put this in an app. I put it in an app. They literally went through, right, so more tires, okay, the tread depth, basically health check of the vehicle, and obviously that just cuts off time because the technician's done that, submitted it. It's in a database. The manager then has to, input the data. So it was kind of a much smoother process for the technician, where they could save time. So apps like that can save a lot of time and resource. It
totally
might not mean a lot to someone. They think, oh, it doesn't take that long. But if you think of all the minutes or hours it can take over time, that's a lot of money.
So a lot of savings can be made.
Exactly. Yeah, and just a simple app. It could take you 2-3 hours to build. You know what I mean? So just a simple form.
Yeah. Interesting. So tell me, let's fast forward to today. What happened? Tell what's been your journey now since that first app around rebooking? What's your journey? Bring us up to date to where you're at today.
So obviously I've left Autoglass now. I'm with Intelligent Eye. So since then, the reason really for leaving Autoglass, I built apps, and I built a lot of apps, and it was like getting to a point where I couldn't build anymore. Do you know what I mean? I've built a company, a lot of apps, and it was like kind of like I wanted to learn more. I wanted to have self-development. So I joined Intelligent Eye, and I've been there for about just over a year now. Been amazing, like the stuff I've learned and the apps I can build now, and just the different kind of types of apps. We are like a data analytics company. So basically, they transfer the data, put it into nice BI reports, and then I can help with the apps where we can input that data and make it a nice smoother transition. We mainly work for local government, so like the police, NHS. So it's more government based. But since John and I, I've learned so much, like the apps I can build now versus at Autoglass, it's like, oh, I should have done that there. And so, but yeah, it's just
Yeah.
totally different learning, a different environment. But yeah.
So you talked about different types of apps, and it's a conversation that I've had with a few people now. And let me explain what I mean, and then perhaps you can add your thinking to this. Is that when companies start building apps, there's a range of user cases, and one of the common ones is what I call a clipboard app. And so this is something that somebody, they're going and doing some checks, maybe doing an inspection. One that jumps to mind is that, the air bridge, when you get on an aircraft at Heathrow, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Someone would have to inspect that air bridge, right? They have to make sure all the safety checks are done on it, all the maintenance checks are done on it. And often, a contract company might come in and they go through, and they'd have a clipboard with all the, all these kind of check boxes. You must check this. Is this okay? What date did you grease it? All that kind of thing, right? And of course, that naturally fits into an app, right? Because the beauty is that you get a whole bunch of additional information, like, what was the weather temperature today? Because that might be impacting things. Because your device might pick that up. You can QR code scan. You can do, how long did the actual job take based on when the inspection started in the app and when it finished. There's, if there was any test equipment, was the calibration in, was it right? You don't have to manually look at the calibration date, right? You can have that data all fed in from another system. So I call that inspection app. Another type of app is an app that it brings together a lot of other software from inside the business. So in other words, in the app, it's going to front end maybe 10 back end applications. And, the field worker might be out in the field and they've got these 10 apps on their devices. Some are easy to use, some aren't. And so we build an app that overlays those other databases, let's say, or data sources. And then within a beautiful interface, you get to do whatever your job is with all those back-end systems being updated. And then there's the simple ones like in IT might be requesting a new computer or requesting a new mobile phone or, in HR, an application to leave or request to leave and take a public holiday or take annual leave or something like that. It naturally fits within that. What other type of app scenarios are you seeing?
I'm seeing, since joining Intelligent Eye, I've been building more kind of front facing customer kind of. So for example, like a community network hub I've been working on. So basically a customer would, someone in the general public would request some assistance in the community.
Yes.
They would log into a portal. They would input their information. That information will go into a back end of a model-driven app. And then the model-driven app would actually feed a Canvas app. So the Canvas app could have the maps on there. And then someone who's a volunteer could actually go, okay, I can actually help this customer. For example, it could be easy. I need to pick up a prescription, some medication for someone who's in need.
Yeah.
Especially these times with COVID, it was kind of like a key app where we could, where local government could support the communities. So that's like one scenario. Like because that's using like three main parts of the Microsoft stack. You've got the portal, you've got your model-driven app, and you've got your Canvas app. And obviously, you can use your Azure as well because you're using Azure apps. So it's like you're taking advantage of the whole Microsoft stack where so many different ways you can use this. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what opened my eyes, leaving Autoglass, because I was obviously just making Canvas apps, and now I'm using all different key parts. So it's totally different scenarios. You can't like how you can.
I love it. Yeah, this is good. So when you look at, are there any other kind of apps that you've looked at? Might not have been yours that you're working on, but in the community that really stand out as like really using the technology effectively?
Well, there's so many different scenarios. It's unbelievable. And like some people, I go through LinkedIn all the time, and one of my good friends, Brian Dang, he's building games on it, and he's just made an amazing game. And you think, oh, it's supposed to be a business application, kind of stack, but it's not. It's like you can use it for all sorts of scenarios. So it's like endless of how people are using Power Apps now.
Yeah.
When I first started, everyone was just like, okay, it's like a simple form, but it's not just a simple form anymore. It's all different scenarios.
So true.
It's kind of hard a question because you don't know. There's so much capabilities. You can do.
Yeah.
It's
so true. One of the feedback that I've heard from the community is that it's been said that a subject matter expert working, so somebody that's not worked with Power Apps, but they know their job, function, etc., and then they work with the Power Platform as a citizen developer. So they're a non-technologist, but they reckon that, like yourself, you really got in, you started building, you keep coming back. Within about 3 months, you could be building apps effectively. And they really move from not just being a subject matter expert, but really into the area of becoming a technologist. What are your thoughts?
So, this question comes up a lot in a lot of kind of events. And I think once you start building an app, it's kind of, and it's once you build an app and it's kind of engaging with other people in the company or wherever you work, you kind of instantly become a technologist, really, don't you? In a way, because you're using technology, you're reaching out to people, a different way of working. So I think as soon as you touch an app and you release that app, then you're you kind of you've made yourself a technologist because it's all technology in a way. So
yeah. So true. Tell me about the community and how that's impacted your career in biz apps.
So obviously, when I first started my job role at Autoglass, and I started journey in Power Apps, I needed this community a lot. I needed the YouTube videos. I needed some guidance, and the community is just amazing. Like the people who are out there. Obviously, I've met you through the community in a way. So when we were at events, So it was some amazing people at Summit. Keith everyone's easy to just talk to. Everyone, I speak to Keith quite a lot sometimes. So I've got a bit of an issue. How would you do this? Not that I could probably find the end result, but I mean, there's some just guidance. Yeah, and he's like, oh, well, you could do it this way. And sometimes you go, oh, yeah, I should know that. But then, because you're overthinking it, you're like, sometimes the second point of view helps you. So, the community is like a key thing. Like, and I always recommend, someone starting their own Power Apps journey, just to reach out.
So when it comes to Power Apps, and Power Apps is very broad these days. In fact, let's look at the Power Platform, where it's made up of many components. How do you differentiate between model-driven apps, Canvas apps, portals, Power Automate, Power BI? How does that all come together, and how do you what's the way you explain it to people that ask you questions about these?
So I always think of the kind of stack. There is like a little journey, isn't there? So there's like and it depends on what solution you're trying to build. So, like for example, the portal is like your starting point if you're trying to collect data from outside, and you've got your model-driven app, which is going to collect that data, and then you got your Canvas app, which could be internal or external. Someone who's not external, but someone who's out in the field. And obviously you've got your end results, which is Power BI, so you can get your fancy reports. And you obviously got Power BI.
Automate.
Power Automate. That's supporting all the back ends where you're doing some fancy calculations or creating records. You're supporting it all. So it's just a massive big stack where it's like we're all working together. And I always look when I'm building a solution or an app, what key strengths do I need? Do I need to use Power Automate, or do I need to use Canvas app, or do I need to have a model-driven app? So it's dependent on what end result you need. Because Canvas apps is obviously you can use that for external, like someone who's out in the field. But then if you're in the office, you might be able to use a model-driven app, which is going to be better for your solution. So
so true. Martin, it's been so interesting talking to you and seeing your journey and just seeing the changes over the years. It's been quite exciting. Before we go to Quickfire Questions, is there anyone you'd recommend as a guest for the show in future?
So this was a hard one because I've gone through your website and I've you've interviewed everyone. I was talking to Samir the other day and I said, I've got a call with you. Samir from Microsoft.
Totally.
cat team. And I said, oh, he's going to ask me this question. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But there is someone, I just see it on LinkedIn. It's Michelle Sanchez. Basically, she's just, she's a Power Platform, Power Apps champion.
Nice.
She's, I've met her when I went to Embass in Seattle, and she's amazing. She does some amazing work. So, she just started a new job role at HSO. So, congratulate her on a new role. So that's the only one I can really. Yeah.
No, awesome.
Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah. I love it. Good recommendation. Okay, you ready for your quick fire questions?
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Okay, what's the first concert you ever went to?
I've never been to a concert.
You never been to one?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay. What would you rather? Here's a would you rather question. Would you rather have no arms or no legs?
I guess no legs. You can't build up with no arms.
Yeah, valid.
Well, I
valid.
could really, because I could with my feet. You learn. You always have to learn.
Yeah. And with CP3, right, you could just really give you commands, and it can build out the code behind it. So, yeah. Okay, if you could only keep 3 things from your home, what, and not including children, family, wife, anything like that. Yeah. If you could only keep 3 things from your home, what would you pick and why?
My laptop, my skates. Oh, why? My laptop because I want to keep building apps.
Nice.
My skates because I love skating. I love rollerblading.
Nice.
Bad one is, I don't know. Well, wok. I love cooking Chinese. So.
Nice. Good selection. Hey, Martin, thank you so much for coming on the show.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, thanks for listening. I'm your host, Business Application MVP, Mark Smith, otherwise known as the NZ365 Guy. If there's a guest you'd like to see on the show, please message me on LinkedIn. If you enjoy the show and you want to support it. If you like the show and you want to support it, go to buymeacoffee.com/NZ365 Guy. Stay safe out there and see you next time.